So our last recipe is a creamy orange millet pudding. And this delicious dessert is a great way to add more whole grains. So we've talked about vegetables, we've talked a little bit about fruits, we talked about plant proteins, cutting back on red meat. Now we're going to talk about whole grains. And this recipe also has fruit in it. So it's keeping our health experts happy that we're increasing our plant foods. And by including the whole grains and fruits in this recipe, we're increasing the nutrients and fiber. And the addition of low-fat milk or a soy beverage adds protein and calcium. And a little bit about calcium is that there's some evidence that if we increase our calcium intake through dairy products or non-dairy beverages, if we're about 300 milligrams per day, is connected to protective effects against cancer, especially colorectal cancer. And 300 milligrams of of calcium would be in about 8-ounce glass. It's also maybe like 6 ounces of yogurt. So those are some tidbits about this recipe. And I'll turn it over to Jeremy.
Awesome. Fantastic.
And Patil.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Patil, we're going to put you back to work here.
Okay.
You're still awake, which is good. We're not boring you.
She can't fall down because we've got her like
pinned in. Yeah.
pinned in here.
So we talked about whole grains and options and some different things that we can do with whole grains. Millet is something that might not be super common in your repertoire. Who's never used millet before? Okay, so some of you have used millet before. Fantastic, love it. It's not just bird seed. We can humans can eat it too, and we can enjoy it as well.
Closer look at it.
Sure, yeah,
because it kind of does look like bird seed.
Yeah,
it looks like couscous actually.
It does look like a bigger couscous.
I guess
it's a wonderful whole grain option.
Yeah.
It is gluten-free option if you are looking for gluten-free options. And it takes like 8 to 10 minutes to cook. It does not take much time at all. So it's one of the quicker cooking whole grains as well. So what we're going to do is make a dessert out of it, which might seem odd, but it is really delicious. We're going to make this really nice sort of creamy pudding. So we're going to take the millet, rinse it, well, almost like you would rinse your rice. Put it into a pot, half a cup, and we're going to use 2 to 3 cups of water. Okay, we want them enough to cover and top if we need to. Okay, how much did I say?
Oh, I
forgot how much I said.
4?
3/4 of a cup. Oh, millet, and then how much water did I say? Sorry.
You said a milk.
I'm testing our audience because I don't remember.
Oh, over here.
2 to 3 cups. I did it. Yes. Okay, 2 to 3 cups. I did remember. Okay, so 2 to 3 cups of water. Cook it. We're gonna overcook it. So we're cooking it. Typically, you can cook millet if you want the texture 8 minutes, and you're good. We're gonna cook it a little bit longer. So we're gonna go 15, even to 20 minutes, just until it gets really, really, really soft, and that's going to make it a lot easier to puree afterwards. Okay. So after cooking the millet, it absorbs all of that water.
Oh,
you
wow.
have, yeah, it'll absorb everything. It'll look like couscous. It'll look like a thicker couscous. Okay.
Wow, I didn't expect.
Yeah.
So half a cup to 3 cups.
3/4 cup.
3/4 cup.
Yeah. Wow. It'll expand quite a bit. And again, all the water is absorbed. This is something that you do want to stir occasionally. If you've ever cooked polenta before, and it starts to like bubble like lava after, that's going to do the same thing. So you want to make sure that it is you're stirring. Otherwise, you might get some splashback, which you don't want. So once it's cooked, let it cool, and then we will add this to our blender. New blender, the last one.
Blender.
Yeah. We had the other one for about 15 years. All right, so we're adding all that millet.
Is this your first time using it?
No, we've used it. But it's good. You like it?
Does it have a chocolate in it? That's cool.
No, it's
That's cool.
just a blender, yeah.
Wow.
All right, so millet's in. And then, so we'll set this up. It is my first time using it. No.
I have a feeling that Patil is going to be helping you with this one, right?
All right, so yes, of course, yeah. So Patil, we're gonna add our milk. Again, like Daniela mentioned, different types, right? We can use for this.
And this is soy milk?
This one here is, but you can use any milk really.
Yeah,
Depends on what
so
want
you
first.
can use a dairy milk or a low, it's probably unsweetened, right? Like
It's unsweetened, correct.
soy beverage that you're using in there. And because soy beverages are fortified with calcium, they're also giving you that same 300 milligrams of calcium per 8-ounce cup.
Okay. All right, so we'll add some flavors. We're using an orange for this recipe, so remove the orange zest, swash it well. Same thing, rasp. When you have your orange zest, we can add all of that there. That's going to give us some really, really nice orange flavor, all those essential oils. You can sweeten it up whichever way you want. This is just some maple syrup, about 3 tablespoons. And again, you can go higher or lower depending on your preferences in there. And then that's it. We're going to blend. So flavoring it up, and then we will blend. So for this model, turn it on, and then you can just slowly dial it up. If you want it, it should blend pretty easily, especially if you overcook the millet. But we want to make it really nice and smooth and creamy. If you feel like it needs more liquid, just go ahead and add a little bit more.
Awesome. I think you have to show this dial. I've never seen
the dial.
the dial. Have you guys seen it? Is it just me that hasn't seen it? Okay.
I'll show you in a sec.
Vitamix has the dial? Okay.
This is not a Vitamix. This is just a
KitchenAid.
But you can see how it's
Nice.
really, really, really creamy and smooth, okay?
Yeah.
When this sits in the fridge, it will actually solidify a little bit firmer, quite a bit firmer, okay? So it will give you, so this is like a really creamy consistency. After it chills and sits in the fridge a little bit, like if you want to make this ahead of time, you can even portion it out ahead of time. You're going to get more of a thicker sort of mousse sort of consistency. But it's really, really nice. The mouthfeel is fantastic. So there's where we're at with the...
And the millet, if we're looking at a cup of millet, you're getting 2 grams of fiber from that. You're also getting protein. You're actually getting 6 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So it's not the same quality as you would get like from the soy or from animal products, but it does have most of the essential amino acids that you need for building protein.
All right, so that is the base. That's pretty much it for the millet pudding. And then on top, you can add whatever you want. We're featuring the orange, so we're going to be using an orange, and I want to sort of segment it and put it on top. So I'll show you a quick way, an easy way, safe way to do that. So we're going to take an orange, take off the top and the bottom. Again, if you don't feel comfortable using a knife, you can even use like those little clementines, those little mandarins, and just peel off little pieces and put that on top. But essentially, we want to cut off enough so that we expose the actual orange itself. And now it's sitting flat. And then we can take our knife, use a smaller knife. A paring knife is a lot easier. And then just follow the curve of the orange.
This is the meditative part.
Yeah, you've seen me do this before.
Yes. Don't you think, Patil?
Fingers,
just kind of.
Yes, very relaxing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fingers out of the way and just follow the curve of the knife around the outside until all the, because that's never like a fun bite is when you have that's a white membrane that would peel on it. So, and then you can go back into anything that you missed. You can remove, and now you have your orange ready to go. So, if you have pieces, like if I cut off too much, and you have like pieces of that orange, you can just squeeze it back in. so you're not losing any of that orange flavor. And then the last thing, again, once it's peeled, we're going to quarter it. So from the top, just to get to the other part that's not really fun to eat. So they're right in the middle. And sometimes if they have seeds or anything, by quartering it, we can expose that core. And then it's a lot easier to just cut the core out that way. And now you have your cleaned orange ready to go. And then you can dice it up or slice it. And now you have this really nice sort of juicy orange, intact, but without most of the peel. Okay, so we're going to take a few pieces.
And we're adding more fiber. So, we need about 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. So, bit by bit through all the different recipes, you can get up to that amount. Men usually need a bit more than 30 grams per day. The thing about it, though, is to gradually increase your fiber. Don't go from just 10 grams of fiber to 30 in one day, because your body needs to adjust. You'd have a lot of gas and bloating. But if you do it in small increments, then it's going to be easier for your body to manage.
Good to know. And from the orange, we have vitamin C. So is that going to increase iron absorption for the millet?
Excellent. Yes, it is. It is very good. Yeah.
What did you put on top?
Oh yeah, just to finish, a little pistachio.
Oh.
Again, we're just getting fancy here, but you can put, just for some texture, it looks really nice.
Nothing goes past our audience.
No,
I love it.
no. But those are, and again, this is really nice as a base, and you can put anything you want. What it's nice is you can actually serve it warm, or you can serve it cold. Very similar to a porridge sort of consistency, and so that way, however you like your oatmeal or porridge, you can do just approach it the same way.
So then, the usual question I would ask is, can you freeze it?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely,
you can.
exceptionally well. And the same technique I showed you with the muffin tins work really, really well.
Excellent.
So you freeze pucks of it, and then you just in the morning for breakfast, if you want it for breakfast, or as a little snack, dessert, you just warm it up in the microwave, or you can put a few pucks in a pot, and you're good to go. But you just have to make one big batch, and then you set yourself up. Yeah.
Great.
And that is the last recipe. So there's the creamy millet and orange.
Yes, I'm coming in.
Pudding here.
There we go.
Get a better shot of that there. And that is the class. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Patil, for joining us in Colorectal Cancer Canada. Again, the website, if people want to...
ColorectalCancerCanada.com.
ColorectalCancerCanada.com. Thank you so much.
And push your tush.
Push for Your Tush event happening in Toronto on June 21st. So if you go on our website, you'll be able to sign up for that. And we have it available in different cities as well across the country.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'm happy that you came in with that.
I like that.
Because Daniela just came in with the push your tush comments at the end. I forgot the context, so...
Oh, you forgot the context.
So yes, the recipes, if you want to find them, if you're here, obviously you have them. We'll be posting them on our website with the videos from the class. You can check that out in a few days. Our next class is in May on the 3rd Thursday. The date escapes me, but if you have a calendar, which I'm sure you do, and you can access, it will be the 3rd Thursday in May. And
June. No, wait.
May?
Oh my gosh.
Don't skip me ahead. No, please. 21st.
21st. I was thinking of the push your tush. Right?
14? Oh, 14. Isn't that early?
No, 21st.
21st. It is 21st. All right, 21st. So 21st. You can come on the 14th too. I'll be here. You can find me. But on behalf of Daniela and myself, Patil, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time. And Pear is going to get mad at me if I don't mention. Follow our Instagram and our YouTube channel if you aren't already.
But do you want to call them up just to say goodbye?
If you guys want to come
Because
up,
this is you're not going to be here for the
yeah.
main
So we've
one,
had
right?
our George Brown students from the Food Nutrition Management Program come up and say go. You don't have to, but
Okay.
Come,
I
just
want
come.
I'm gonna say yes. Come
I
on
say you don't
out.
have to, but I was just being nice. You have to.
Otherwise, you can't graduate. Okay, I'll move out of the way here.
Come in, just say hi to everyone. So we have Ashley, Pear, Kiori, and Runzi. Runzi, you're too tall. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
move
we're
in
gonna have to do
a little bit more. They've been with our team for the last 7 weeks, doing their externships from the Food Nutrition Management program at George Brown College. They've been working very hard at developing and testing a lot of recipes for an upcoming cookbook that we are working on. So yeah, we're very excited. We'll stay tuned for that. But next week will be their last week, so we just want to give them a big thank you.
Yes.
And, yeah.